Hello everyone. Today I'm going to do a review of an ultra slim dual USB port portable external power bank, and this one is claiming that it has 20,000 milliamp hours of storage capability. And for the form factor, I thought that's kind of it's going to be a tough order to fill, but we'll see. We'll test it out and see what kind of a storage capability or output power it actually does deliver. I bought this one on Amazon for $13.68. You can see it there on the screen. But they're also available on eBay. So if I'll click over here and you can see it. And I got the blue one, as you can see here from the case, it's blue. And you can buy them on eBay for $9.85. So again, for the amount of power they're saying that these things can store and deliver, $9.85 seems like a really low price for that. So, but you can see here that they're very popular, as 14,822 of these have been sold so far. So you do the math on a $10 item, we're talking a lot of money here. But regardless, I'm going to unbox it, show you the features and give you an overview on it, and then I'm going to fully charge it, fully discharge it, and tell you how much output it actually does do. The packaging's nice enough by itself, more than nice enough to give as a gift without any concerns at all. But one of the, it's made in China, and it has the usual Chinese, what I would call Google translation text on it. And it is so tiny you need a magnifying glass to read some of this stuff. But the one curious thing I did notice about the whole thing, and I'll show you that, and that is nowhere on any section of this packaging is there does it specify the milliamp hour storage capability of this unit, which definitely raises some red flags. I'll zoom in on this so you can see it, and I'll just go through hopefully be able to go through the instructions here so you can see them. I'll just go through them because they're so tiny. I doubt you can even read them here. Hopefully you can, but I'll just go through it. You can see the vague Chinese writing there. Well, I shouldn't say Chinese. It's English, but it's you can tell that it's been translated. It talks about what it's able to do. It says that the battery is protective IC, so against. It says efficient boost. Like I said, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But then we go down to the features here. And you look at the features and you see wide compatible, double USB output, powerful with long operation time, portable and convenient, blah, 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 blah. And it even says rapid charge, but it doesn't specify which technology it has. So basically it's totally vague. Then it says, a small warning about your USB cable. Again, very vague. And still a curious lack of any specifications at all for this package. So what I'm thinking is that they're using the same package for several different kinds. And, this is what you get. So let's take it out of the box, see what we got. Okay, power bank, pretty generic. I'll take that out of there. And we have what looks like a nice USB cable here. You can see that it's a multi-head USB cable, so that's neat. It's short, but that's okay for a power bank. Short is actually to be, commended. You don't want a great big long cable with a power bank, really. And then we have multiple heads. We have an Apple, looks like an Apple connector there. Not sure what specification that is, but it's an Apple connector. Let me zoom in. All right, here's the various connectors. Looks like an Apple connector there and an old Apple connector there as well. So, that's impressive. Micro USB, and I think just a different USB. I think this is a B, micro USB connector, but multiple head USB connector. That's nice. You could probably hook it up to two devices at one time. I'll try that. And it's a short cable. So that's a bonus. Nice there. Let's get on to the actual main event here, and that is the power bank. So let's take it out of its nice plastic case, and as you can see, it's a very attractive looking case. It looks like what I would call anodized aluminum. generic power bank on it. You know, nothing really fancy there. And look on one side, you see that it's slightly indented on that side, which, you know, it gives you a nice grip to it, I guess. It's just a fancy detail. On the back, we have the model. Oh, there we go. We finally actually got a model number, some sort of specifics on it. Let me see if I can get a little less glare on that for you. There we go. That's better. Model Z, power bank for MODILE. We always get into that Chinese translation thing going on there. So there, yeah, kind of a dubious spelling. Pone, MP4, iPhone, iPad. Input, well, the first specification of what it actually does, it says DC 5 volts, 1 amp. Output is 5 volts, 1 amp, and 2 amp. And then finally, the capacity at 20,000 milliamp hours. So, you know, pretty cool. There's your specs. Obviously, we got a little bit of a translation issue there. Let's zoom in a bit more here. And, oh, more specs on the bottom. So let's see what we got going on there. It says it's got a different input number there. It says input DC 5 volts, 1.5 amps. So I'll have to test and see how much it can actually take on that input port. And then you see output 2 amp and 1 amp. So output 1 is the 2 amp port. Output 2 is the 1 amp port. So there we go. And then we'll go to the actual front end here, and it looks like I've activated it there by hitting the button. But neat. You can see it pretty cool here. We have power LEDs, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a fourth one there. It's not lit. So we do have a power capacity LED display, micro USB port there. Looks like a little flashlight there as well. 2 power ports, 1 amp and 2 amp, and the on and off switch as well. So I'm going to hold the on switch on here. Yep, just like normal. If you hold it on the on switch, you'll get the LED. Let me turn the light off there so you can see it shining. Not bad, you know, pretty bright. You know, this is a standard feature on a lot of these power packs. A LED, you know, totally usable. So just hold the power button down, and that turns it on and off. So here, I hold it down again, probably about 4 seconds. Yeah, there we go. And do it again, and it turns off. So nothing too super special there, as you can see. And you know, let's I'll measure it out for you and weigh it up. It's quite light. It's you know, got a good feel to it. It's got a nice texture to the actual build, and the quality looks okay. Let's do a weigh on it, and then let's measure it out. There we have the weight on it. It's 138.6 grams. Let's change the mode here to ounces, and you see it's 4.8 ounces. So there's the weight. Let's measure it out, see what we get there. All right, measured out, it's 152 millimeters in inches. That would be 6.0 inches. So, you know, 6 inches, 152 millimeters. Oops, 152.48, but 152. In width, we'll say 75 millimeters. And in inches, that's 2.9 inches. And in thickness is 0.3 inches or 9 millimeters thick. There we go, there's a 9. In thickness, we got 9 millimeters and 0.3 inches. So that basically is all the physical characteristics and, as you saw, features. Next, I'm going to fully charge this unit a few times. I'm going to fully charge it, discharge it, and basically test the levels that it can actually output. And I will do it several times before I actually show you my results. All right, I've got my 2 amp wall charger on this, or USB wall charger, and hooked up to my USB meter or charge meter here. And when it's connected to the power bank, I'm getting 0.786 amps of storage capability, or sorry, of current going into it. I'm using the cable they gave me to do this test right here. We look on the power bank, you see that there's actually 4 LEDs. You can't see one of them. It's kind of obscured here by the charge cord, but we're on 1, 2, 3, and there's a 4th one here. So we're probably on half or to a third full of juice right out of the box. And I found that the cord was rather stiff going in there, but it works. It went in, so we're okay there. So we're going to let that charge, see how many milliamp hours that actually gives us on our charge meter here, and we'll go from there. I may try a different cord, see if I get any more out of the different cord than I do from this one. I'm going to try a different cord here, see if we get any different result in the amps. Yeah, 0.8 now. That's a little bit more than the other one. Well, 0.9798. So yeah, it does really doesn't make much of a difference. Again, this black cord going into this port was very, very tight. It's kind of scary how much pressure you have to put it in there, but it's certainly not going to fall off anytime soon. Easy. So I'm going to go back to the original cord. What I'm going to do is do a full charge, then charge this fully, do a full discharge, do a full charge, and record both those values and see what we get. All right, we've got the first full discharge there. I have to give it a little bit of juice just to turn it back on again. So I'll do that. So you can get the number. 2485 milliamps. Did go over 1.4 or 1.5 amps on charging at one point, so it does deliver it does deliver over 1 amp in the 2 amp port. But as you can see, let me plug it in again. It is dead, so I need to do that just to charge it up enough to turn it on. But again, as you can see, 2485 milliamps isn't 20,000 milliamps. That's for sure. So I'm going to do a recharge of the unit and see how many milliamp hours it takes to charge it up, and maybe do a couple more discharges, but it doesn't look promising. There's the full charge. This is the rating I got from it. Going from fully discharged to fully charged took 6 hours to do it. It never went over 1 amp in the amperage indication over here, so the charge port is definitely not any more than 1 amp. Actually, it only, I think, at one time went up to 800 at the most. So I'd say that, that 1 amp, the charge port is definitely 1 amp and below. The full capability from totally discharged, dead, to fully charged was 4,112 milliamp hours, which is about a fifth of the advertised actual storage capability of the unit. It's supposed to have 20,000 milliamp hours, so it's nowhere near that. Next, I'm going to do a full discharge, and I'll do a time lapse so we see exactly where it drops off, and go from there. All right, here's the screen capture of the final number on the full discharge of this power bank from fully charged to fully discharged, and it took 8 hours and 11 minutes, as you can see down there. And again, now we're talking about a 12th or 12. Sorry, now we're talking about 12% of the advertised total full charge of this pathetic lie of a power bank. It's definitely not 20,000 milliamp hours. It's 2,581 milliamp hours. And I've done the discharge several times and come up with the same number a few times, 2,581 milliamp hours. So whatever battery is in here, the only capability it has is a 2,581 milliamp hour discharge. Well, let me put that into perspective for you. Also, by the way, that took 8 hours and 11 minutes to fully discharge. It never went up above 1 amp. And it never, and that's on the allegedly 2 amp port. So, you know, it takes 1 amp a maximum charge, you know, on the charge port, and it gives out maximum a 1 amp output. So ally on the output, ally on the storage capability, and pathetic performance on the charge capability. I mean, 2,581 milliamp hours. Let me give you a perspective here. This is a battery from my Samsung Galaxy S4. Now that's a pretty old, you know, smartphone at this point, but you know, here it is. Very small, very tiny, but this is 2,600 milliamp hours. Okay, this whole big power pack here can't charge this battery fully. So you're carrying around this whole big clunky thing that's supposed to be a thin whatever. Now if it was 20,000 milliamp hours, okay, then it would be able to charge this up about 8 or 9 times, which would be awesome, right? Or 7 times. Well, awesome, but it can't even charge it once. Okay, so that puts into perspective how pathetic this blue 20,000 amp milliamp hour storage power pack or power bank is. I mean, really, at $13 and whatever I paid for it, $13.85 I believe, it is a total ripoff. I would do not buy one of these. It's a piece of junk. Okay, now I've ordered another one, a pink one, from eBay, and it looks exactly the same, just a different color. It's slightly different exterior, but all the controls and everything are the same, and I'll be doing a video on that as well. But now that I know it's a piece of junk, next thing I'm going to do is take it apart and show you what's inside. All right, let's take this thing apart. Let's start with the end caps. I think it's probably the easiest to take the ends off. Let's do that. There's the end cap off. You see the battery. And I believe that end cap was part of a whole unit, but it seems to be in there really good. Yes, good in there. I'm just right here, it doesn't matter. I believe it's glued in there. I'm going to use some my heat gun on it and see if I can slide it out of there. Let's do this. My patience was whatever adhesive they used to hold the guts on this thing in the unit actually ran out, so I cut a slice all the way down the center here, and I'm just going to part the cover. There we go. There we go. And as you can see, there's a heck of an adhesive in there. The whole unit is adhered in there pretty good. Here's what it looks like inside anyway. Basically bet I'm not putting that back in there. Let's peel off. Yes. No way you're getting that out without cutting it open. Okay, well, let's just take the circuit out of there. Still working. There's the charge circuit out of there. Just take the battery out. Okay, well, there's that. So, yeah. Short of doing what I just did to it, you're not getting it out of there. That adhesive is way too strong. There's no rating on this battery at all, or this cell at all, as we can see. The solder points look really badly done. Let's go take a look at this. Okay. See that? And that. Those are the two connections for the battery. They look really crappy. Looks like the lead wasn't fully, well, if it was fully soldered on there correctly, it looks like it's really bad solder because it's gray instead of silver. Okay, well, there's the charge circuit. All right, that's what we got. Negative, positive. We don't have it hooked up. Okay, here we go. So it's actually labeled B negative, B positive. Right there. That's yeah, basic charge circuit. And whatever kind of cell they decided to put in there, I don't know. There's the guts. So if you wanted to modify this, you know, you could actually put a 2600. Look, this is a Samsung 2600 milliamp hour cell, which is more capacity than this thing. So yeah, they could have put a much larger cell in there for sure. Because if you look at the size of this. Put it back inside. You know, it's a lot of wasted space there. Could have easily gone way bigger, but they didn't. Of course, they had to lie about its capacity. There's the actual unit itself. You know, I may do a test on the raw battery, see what we have here. But I suspect it won't be much more than maybe 2,500. Maybe 4,000 milliamp hours. That's it. That's the guts. I guess for $13, $14 you get the battery, you get a charge circuit and a case, but you certainly don't get 20,000 milliamp hours. Let's do a voltage test on it, see what we get. 4.13 volts. So it's probably a lithium ion battery. Who knows what the capacity of it is. I may test it on my LiPo charger, see what we get. So we're just going to hook it up and do a discharge test. There we go. Let's do it. Pick it up on the other end. So what we have in that power bank is a LiPo cell. It is a lithium polymer cell. And generally those cells are generally specified to be maximum charged to 4.2 volts. And maximum discharge to 3 volts. So I checked on the charge circuit that came with that actual power bank, and it's doing a maximum charge on that LiPo cell to 4.13 volts, which is perfectly acceptable, and a full discharge level all the way down to 3.11 volts. Again, well within a LiPo battery's range. Actually, it's a little bit above it and a little bit below it in the a little bit above in the maximum discharge, which is good, and a little bit below in the maximum charge, which is also good. Unfortunately, it doesn't really deliver the power in the cell to the actual devices that you're actually hooking up to the power bank. But regardless, either way, the power bank is advertising 20,000 milliamp hours, and it doesn't even come close, even when you test the cell individually at the parameters that the actual charge circuit charges the cell. So for a test, I charged the cell up to what the actual charge circuit on the power bank would charge it up to, and then discharged it to the same level as the power circuit on the power bank would do so with my LiPo charger. And this is what I got. I got 4,225 milliamp hours, as you can see there on the screen. Total all the way down to 3.11 volts. So it says 3.12. It did go down to 3.11. And we'll take a look here at the power curves for that. Again, I went from 4.13 all the way down to 3.11. And this is the 1 amp, because this power bank actually does not deliver more than 1 amp on any of the actual outputs or inputs on it. So even though it says, oh, I'll give you 2 amps on one of the USB ports, it doesn't. So this is what I got. Here's the charge curve there, and let's go. That's amperage that we're looking at there. So we went 1 amp all the way across, and then basically dropped down at about, I don't know, 15,500 seconds to what you see here. So let's go to the next one. And this is the discharge curve for voltage. Started way up, but actually should be 4.11 or 4.13, I believe. Anyways, it drops quickly down and then goes across, like you can see here. And not a bad curve. Fairly usable. And then discharges all the way down to 3.11, where the actual cell stops with the charge circuit. Now I'm going to do a full charge of this cell, going from 4.20 to 3.0 volts to see what the actual capacity of the cell is. But regardless, I doubt very much that I'll get more than the overview here of 4225. Maybe I'll get 4,500 milliamp hours. Again, if your thought in buying this power bank is, oh, I'm going to harvest the LiPo battery out of it, well, it's not that great a deal. I've seen 8,000 milliamp hour LiPo batteries for sale on eBay for $12, $13, which is what this whole power bank costs. So it's really not an economic way of getting a LiPo cell. On top of that, that cell on eBay has a charge protection circuit on it, which this cell does not. This is a raw cell. It uses the USB charging circuit as the protection. So again, not a good value. I can't recommend it. I'm going to do the full discharge test. I'll show you those results, and then I'll wrap all this up. Okay, I did a full discharge test on that power bank, and on that LiPo cell, and I got 4401 milliamp hours, as you can see here on the screen. It's actually about 176 milliamps more than the actual power bank would put into this cell. Difference being is that I went over a broader range of voltage. I went from 4.20 volts to 3.0 volts on the discharge and got 4401. On the power bank, it goes from 4.13 volts down to 3.11 or 3.11 volts, which is a totally acceptable range. It's actually a safer range. Will actually make the cell last longer, but regardless, 176 milliamp hour difference between the two of them. What I gleaned out of that information is that the actual LiPo cell that's in that bank, this one right here, is actually a 4400 milliamp hour LiPo cell, or lithium polymer cell. So, big deal. I mean, it doesn't, the total milliamp hour delivery from that power bank is 2,581 milliamp hours. So it wastes a lot of energy in converting that power from that cell to 5 volts for the USB port. Regardless, either way, this thing's a total rip-off. There's no way it's 20,000, not even close to 20,000 milliamp hours. It delivers about, what, a fifth of what they're actually reporting it has for storage capability. So, total rip-off. Do not buy this thing. It's a rip-off. Let me give you a comparison here. Basically, when you compare that cell to, let's say, the Simian power bank that I reviewed earlier this month, you can see here that this blue power bank, as pretty as it is and as slim as it is $13.99 on Amazon. And I bought this Simian power bank on Amazon as well for $1 less, and it delivers 10,400 milliamp hour storage capability. It actually delivers more, number one. Number two, it actually gives you a charge output out of the 2 amp output port that is 7,108 milliamp hours, which is 2.75 times more output than this hunk of junk here gives you. So it's a no-brainer. Buy the Simian instead of this. You'll be way further ahead. It's $1 cheaper, and it delivers 2.75 more output capability than this actual hunk of junk blue aluminum pretty slim case. So that's basically it. It's a ripoff. Now, to be fair, I went out to eBay and bought a pink one, a pink slim power bank, just to see if there's any difference. I don't know. I have to be fair and do a full review on it before I can pass judgment. But I doubt very much it's 20,000 milliamp hours either. So we'll see what we get out of this one. And, after that, I will be hacking it open again like I did this one and seeing what's inside. So that's it for my video. This thing's a hunk of junk. Do not buy it. It's a ripoff. That's all I can say about that. Now, if you like this video and it helped you out in some way, do me a favor. Click on the like button right down here and give me a thumbs up. It helps my channel. It helps my video all around. I appreciate that. Also, I will be putting links for this stuff, the charger and so on, things I used in this video in the video description below to Amazon and eBay. So you can go and buy them if you would like to purchase them from the same people that I purchased them from, that is. And also, somewhere on the screen here, you'll see a picture of me. And, if you click on that picture, you'll subscribe to my channel. And when you're subscribed to my channel, you'll be able to get notifications every time I put a new video out, like the one I'm going to do on this thing. And then you can watch it at your leisure. Once again, like always, I want to thank you for your time and for watching.